All right, it's late Sunday night, and I have a trifecta of trades to report on here tonight. So we've got three trades happening in the no control zone. They're coming fast and furious, and all three of these are pretty much minor trades, but I see an interesting trade here, and so let's take a look at them and see how they broke down. First off, we've got Living Skies Capitals and the Shiloh Rangers, and they are about to do a trade that is nothing more, uh, from what I see on Dean's part, as a cap dump. So he's too cheap to do the buyout. So he decided to do something else. So let's see how that broke down. Okay, so there you can see it. So the Living Skies Capitals are picking up Mr. Backstrom. No surprise that a Caps fan like Al would want Backstrom on the team. So yeah, he grabs Backstrom for a seventh rounder. So I guess Dean said, man, instead of spending $15 to buy him out, I might as well trade him and get a seventh rounder. So relatively cheap for Al to get this, but it's nothing other than a cap dump, guys. So yeah, this is not it may not look like a fair trade, but know the purpose behind the trade. So and Al still thinks he can get something out of Backstrom. Why not take a crack at it? And so that's our first trade. That's how that one broke down. It was pretty easy, pretty quick. So what we know is the Rangers picked up a seventh round pick, and the Living Skies Capitals picked up Nicholas Backstrom for 3 years. So a pretty good deal for Al there if it works out. But I had Backstrom last year, and he did the same thing last year. Didn't make it back till halfway through the year, and he really wasn't that great once he got back either. And kind of looks like he's doing the same thing again this year. So I'm not sure how much Backstrom still got left in the tank. But anyway, that's our first trade of the night. So let's take a look at our second one. All right, so in our second draft of the day, we have the Pitter Patter and Flying Colors pulling off a five-person deal, I guess. Three players and two picks. So this is probably one of the more complicated trades of the three trades. So let's see how this one broke down. So here's how the trade breaks down. Pitter Patter is going to be sending Boone Jenner over to Flying Colors. He's leaving on a 3-year contract. Plus, they're also going to be sending over a fourth round draft pick over to Garrow and Flying Colors. In return, going back the other way is elite goaltender Robin Leonard. Unfortunately, this guy's probably injured more than he plays, and it looks like Garrow's had enough of them, and he's shipping them off over to Steve. Now, Steve's in a rebuild, so he can afford to have Leonard. I wouldn't be surprised to see Leonard as one of his starting goaltenders in the Great Tank. So, yeah, so it makes sense to me. And also going over is Connor Brown. So it's Robin Leonard and Connor Brown and a sixth-round draft pick going over to Pitter Patter. So that's a nice little bit of chunk for the rebuild for him. So I like the move. Get himself a goaltender. He's looking at next year probably to try to get going. So overall, I think it's a great trade for both teams here. So Boone Jenner going over to Flying Colors on a 3-year contract. Robin Leonard on a 3-year contract, and Connor Brown going over to Pitter Patter. And Pitter Patter also picking up a fourth rounder and Flying Colors a sixth. So there you have it. That's trade number 2. So I guess next up is who are we going to talk about next? So for trade number 3, which makes a ton of sense to show that Steve is in full rebuild mode, he's also involved in the third trade of the day. This time it, though, is involving with the Florida Gators. So let's take a look and see how this trade broke down. Okay, so you can see here it's a pretty simple trade going on. Jonathan Quick is going on over to the Florida Gators, going over to a nice rebuilding team and to the Gators, and the Gators need a little extra goaltending. So this one makes a lot of sense. Jonathan Quick just coming over on a 1-year deal, and the Gators are going to give up a fourth round pick for Jonathan Quick. So I haven't put it in on the board yet, but it'll be going there, and that's another pitter patter pick for the rebuild for next year as Steve's starting to build up the draft picks here. And whatnot. So it also makes a lot of sense for Steve if he's tanking because he just picked up Leonard. and he's got Quick. Well, Quick's good enough to play, but he probably doesn't want to put Quick in. So send him off, get something for your rebuild. So there you go. There's your 3 trades of the day. So we had a trifecta Sunday going on here. It's exciting to be into the first week, but it's kind of a bummer that we've got this little pause, and I know it has to have sucked for the guys even in the 2 games that didn't have any players playing. It's like, come on, man, I want to play fantasy hockey here. Let's go. It's time to get this season rolling. So anyway, that's what I got for you tonight. Trifecta of trades. You guys take care out there and peace out.